What is going on, Beta Gang? I hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year's and ready to take on 2021. I know 2020 was a rough year, but when it came to profit taking, it did pretty well this year, I have to admit. With that being said, 2020, a brand new year. We're going to have to do another repeat. Going for the title again, baby. But before we get started, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's get kicked off with some news real quick. Again, the biggest news coming in that the man, the Musk, missed his target of 500,000 vehicles delivered. But with that being said, he still beat estimates. Estimates came in, or they were expecting 493,000. And Tesla came in with 499,550 vehicles delivered. So nonetheless, I expect Tesla to be up big come tomorrow morning. Now, I don't know what the market's going to look like. I'm recording this early. The market still isn't open for another 5 more hours. With that being said, I did take an option play on Tesla before close of business on Friday after that big drop. I went in and got in some option calls, nothing major. I didn't want to swing anything too big, but I did want to capture a move because I was expecting some kind of news on the deliveries. Nonetheless, everything else this week, stimulus are still being delayed. There's nothing real major coming out that I can recall. I'm looking at the economic calendar here this week. The Fed is going to be actually hitting up at the end of the month. That's one thing to keep in mind. So you want to mark on your calendars January 28th and 29th this month. There'll be the Fed meetings as well. I didn't really see any eye-popping news today, to be honest. So with that being said, I think we can go ahead and start looking at the charts. Again, I read the news periodically. For the most part, I wait till the day of because the market can shift a lot. That's just in my experience. Reading news from the day before, I know Tesla, being Tesla, will definitely skyrocket. But being said, I think the rest of the market is kind of just getting ready to go. So it'd be interesting to see where we open up tonight and see where, again, we open up tomorrow. Again, it's overnights are kind of pretty unpredictable nonetheless. But we shall see. I think we're going to open up tonight and into tomorrow. I think we might get some selling first thing in the morning, and then just to get good position for a run in January leading up to our quarterly earnings. So we'll see how that goes. Again, it's the beginning of the year. A lot can change. It's never always the same. So being said, let's go ahead and pull up some charts here. See what we got here this week. All right. Go ahead and full screen this thing. All right, so SPY had that big jump on Friday, which I'm not even quite sure. I think it was just repositioning. I didn't see any news. There might have been news that came out. If there was news, let me know. Again, I like to trade technicals a lot more than news, specific news. If I am actually in a stock, I like to look for specific news mostly. But being said, I think it was just reposition. Again, I didn't see anything about the stimulus checks or anything like that really come out that made it pop. I think it was just everybody was ready for the new year. I could be wrong. If it is, let me know down in the comments below. Again, I'm more of a technical trader. I like to get technical, pretty much. But as you can see, it broke out of the wedge, so definitely a plus there. Again, where to expect, depending on how we open, we do have that nice wick that goes way up there to 378. So that might be our benchmark for this week before we see some more selling again. But again, we'll see how tonight opens. We got a couple hours before then. Tesla, like I said, I actually took a position down here when it hit the 20, when it came down, because I was expecting the actual numbers to be coming out, which I don't think actual numbers came out. All I think that came out Friday morning was the fact that they beat expectations, but I don't see, and I think the numbers actually dropped yesterday. But nonetheless, I took a position here. I took a small call, nothing crazy. I didn't go heavy in this, but trying to capitalize on that delivery. And then on the daily here, let's see what we got on the daily. We still got some room, still got some headroom, I think. We'll, again, the charts are horrible on TOS. I'm not gonna lie. I think we still see, yeah, that's 743. I think we still run. I think that's still very much a possibility. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, this is actually, let's look at that here. I don't know how, I mean, that could be top two, that hit there. Well, could be what hit and dropped there. It could get a little bit of pullback or pop back up to the 23. So at least that's a $23 move, unless it breaks and then we really rip, which I'm kind of expecting. I mean, we might get one more rip, I think maybe in the next couple of days. And then it might drop down, kind of sell off a bit before we actually go into earnings. I'm kind of thinking that it's going to sell off a bit, and then probably a week before earnings, we might get another run. I don't even actually know what Tesla earnings are. It's something I have to look up. Something I'll do a check throughout the week as well when I'm going through stuff. But I think just for this next week, I think we might get a nice little pop and run for a day or two here. I think we're coming close to the ceiling, although we did break all-time highs Friday. So we did break that and retested it. So that's why I got in, because I think we're going to try to run. I don't know if we're going to try to make a run for 800 this week. Again, it's the new year. I have to see how that run goes, but I wouldn't be surprised if we try to make a run for 800 and then kind of die short of that and sell off until, like I said, like a week, probably like a week and a half or so out from earnings. Then we might get some more momentum, because it has had a big tear up since then. I'm actually probably going to cut some of my position here on this next little pop. I'm actually, like I said, I've been holding a pretty hefty position since the 400s, the low 400s. So I might trim back this position for the new year. I've been that's why I rolled over that position into the new year. But nonetheless, Airbnb is the next one. This particular stock, I'm waiting to see if it breaks here. I really think the stock is going to be the year for the stock. It may not be until June, but I know they've already seen some positive results already. People are starting to already go back and get out a little bit more. So staying inside is not going to do it. So, and again, it's been holding this level, this 143. It's 143 mark. So it's been holding this. I think we break out of this wedge here and then continue to head up, or at least retest the 174. I'm expecting there's a lot of volume in here, so I'm expecting it to do one of these pushes like it did here again soon. Like I said, on the daily, this actually looks really good. It looks like a bull flag, to be honest. So depending on how we open tomorrow, I would be surprised if we are pushing up to that 174 again. I'm still writing out that contract as well. I do have a leap on this one. I think till December or January. I have till January next year. I'm looking to really trade this a lot along with Tesla this year. I think they're both going to have a tremendous year. Out of all the companies that are going on, I think they'll definitely have an awesome year this year. But this particular week, again, I'm really watching just to see what it does here. If it breaks down or breaks up, and then I'll take a position on that. If it does break down, I'll definitely be waiting till it gets down to this 125, and then I'll be taking another leap right here, plus shares if it gets down in here again. Yeah, I think that's it for Airbnb. Apple, it's starting to cool off after the whole Apple Car thing. My opinion about the Apple Car thing is Tesla is just so far ahead. I get Apple has some money, but still, Tesla is just so far ahead. I think if people just want a different car other than Tesla, maybe they might buy an Apple car. I don't know. I don't know how Apple's going to do that, but we'll see until it happens. I can't remember the day. There's a specific day or year, sorry, when the car comes out. I think it's like in 2025 or something, 2024, I think. So it might be worth looking at leaps for then. But even if I was looking at leaps, it would have to come down. I would still want it down at least 128 maybe. I mean, if we could really get it down here, 123 for a leap for Apple for the 2024, that would probably be a decent grab for a leap. Even shares as well. Facebook is playing this range really good. These yellow are resistance. If I haven't really explained this, my zones are right here, are typically between the lines. So this essentially would be a zone. I don't put this in there because it's TOS and it's not the greatest. This here would also be a zone. These yellow lines are typically just like a quick stop, like a speed bump. They're not really something I like to take positions in. I wait till it hits the major zone supports here. Facebook, again, I'm waiting for it to come down here. I have the thing set up here. Do need to set that up there. So if it breaks above that, it'll run back up here close to 300. I think we might actually, to be honest, I think we land right here at one. I think we're going to bounce off this speed bump, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce off the speed bump. So, I mean, if you take a position here, just be aware it could fall down. If we're looking at the 268, actually, let me check something real quick. Yeah, let me go ahead and throw this up there. This hasn't been on there. Yeah, so this is purely for, so this is purely for educational purposes only. And just a reminder, I forgot to throw that up there. Nonetheless, if you take a position here, I can see maybe possibly touching this in the morning and then jetting. Again, it all depends on how the market opens. It can open wherever it wants to tonight. It's really just matters tomorrow for the week. So I want to get ecstatic if it's up or down tonight. It's more about if you're really looking at positioning, it's in the morning because it's going to change again overnight. So that's why I'm looking at Facebook. I definitely want Facebook if it dips back down to this 266. I'm looking at leaps. I don't know about shares, but I'll look at a leap for that one. TDOC, I am in shares here. I didn't pick up any more shares. I thought about it, but if we continue to rattle in this range here, this 205 to 196, I might pick up some more shares there. I should actually look at leaps here. I don't think I've ever even looked at leaps for this particular one, but I think TDOC is going to be a good one. I'm looking to ride that one for this year. I think we'll get some great movement out of this one, especially talking about like ARK Invest. This is one of ARK Invest's. I think it's like their number 6 or something in their index for the genomics. But I think this year will be a good year for TDOC. I think it will really run. Now, the other therapeutics and stuff is a hard one to play with. That's why I don't typically play the therapeutics because there's a lot of risk. And in my experience, it's not worth a risk because you lose more than you win. So TDoc, I think, is a safer play, just because it's online, essentially remote healthcare. So that's why I like it. I tend to try to play the safer ones, the more guaranteed ones. I try to take as much risk off the table as I can already. So I look for solid supports, and then I go heavy on those and shares and leaps, and then ride it out to whatever my price target is. That's typically the way I play. Spot. I actually like spot here, as long as it doesn't break below this 308 mark here. You got a nice support here it's bouncing off of. Although it's under all these EMAs, I think if it can hold the support, you might get a little pop. You might want to wait till it breaks this trend line. But spot is something else I'm looking at. I'd like it right now, but again, looking at this, I mean, it looks like a bull flag, even on the daily. So spot could definitely be a big one this week too. So I'm definitely keeping an eye watching that. BYND, I have shares in this. Still holding here. I think it's just doing its normal consolidation. You got that crazy news. Like I said last week, got that crazy news, sold off. Now we're just kind of holding here, consolidating on this range. It will typically do that. It might go for a couple more days, just sitting in this range before it actually pops up. Normally tends to do that. It's normally BYND's pattern. So I'll let you guys know if I take any more position on this. I still feel like this is going to get a nice pop up and run into earnings. That's one thing you got to start keeping in mind and start watching for earnings. It's just around the corner before you know it. I think right after earnings, though, I think earnings is actually... I don't know if we'll sell off before earnings. I don't think we will. I think we might get a little bit of selling, and then it just all depends. I mean, it's you got Biden coming in and everything too, so you just have to kind of play that by ear and see how the stock market moves. So this first couple of weeks, it might just be waiting. The best thing is just to be patient. I've definitely found that if you are patient and wait for the position to come to you, wait for the supports, load up on those supports, be mindful, right? Don't take weeklies. If you end up finding you're holding for days, you go into the position with the idea what you want to do. Again, if it hits my strong supports, I always try to go in with heavy shares, or I try to, not so much so that I can't average down if I need to. Again, this is why I don't pick super risky stocks. I pick stocks I believe in, that I believe essentially in their mission statement, right? If they got a solid mission statement, that I feel comfortable leaving my shares in there because I know it will bounce back. It's typically some news that just drops it, and I'm waiting for the turnaround. So VRYYF, this is another shares one. I do have a position I've held for a while. I had this back. I think I actually picked this up around 3. So still up pretty big on this position. I want this. I think this VRYYF is going to have a huge year too. So I'm just maintaining it. Like I said before, a lot of these penny stocks, I'm holding on to. I mean, I'm not super positioned. I'm not so overly positioned that it's going to destroy my account. I don't do that with these penny stocks. There's still a lot of risk here, but I have enough in it to where if it does skyrocket, I can make a pretty penny off it. So that's how I typically play these. So I'm looking for this year to be a big year for VRYYF. Same with Planet 13 here. This is playing a good range. I think this year will be a big year too. So these two, I'm really looking forward to this year to see what the potential is for these, especially with everything recovering. Again, the VRYYF is like BYND. It's also a meatless company as well, based out of Canada. But I think that news just kind of sunk it. As you see, it popped. I think it was the same day that news came out. And then it just sunk, and it's just been selling off a little bit. But still, it's holding well now. It's starting to base out. So I look forward to what those two are going to do this year, as well as Evojin. This one, I think, might be a little bit slower. I know ARK Invest is in this one. I know a lot of people have been in it at lower lower ranges here. I didn't again hear. I've heard about it. I've had some other trading friends tell me about this, but I didn't really look into it till recently, like I said. And then I took position there, and I've added some more. I added some more here when it touched back on Friday. I think I like this company, and understanding that with what happened over the year in agriculture, if I could say that right, that this stock will explode. This is much needed, and I think again, going through what we did, I think innovation, like Kathy Wood always preaches, I think all that's going to really excel this year. We have to establish a new norm, and a lot of these companies are going to take advantage of that this year. One thing, though, I do want to say is I'm trying to stay away from the genomic space. I do have some, like I said, I have TDoc and Evojin, but I'm not trying to get too heavily involved in it yet. I think we're still way off from really. I think there's a lot of hype in it right now because Kathy Wood is talking about it, but there is a lot of hype in it. Until it really shows me that there's going to be massive growth in it, I still think there's still anything evolving in innovation. I still think 3D printing is big. I think there's still a couple of other spaces. Like I said, I play a lot of the same things. But being said, I hate to chase because I know a lot of times when there's chasing going on, you start introducing a lot more risk on the table. With that being said, Evojin is another one I'm going to hold on for a while. I don't expect it to explode this year. That is one thing to keep in mind. I think we might get a little pop. I think we might get like one of those quick little pops from just, like I just said, I think everybody we just be buying in because ARK Invest isn't buying in it. I think that's why we got these pops anyway. And I think the next, we'll get another big pop coming in, possibly in this new year. And at that point, I might actually sell on the pop and then wait for it to calm down a bit and then re-enter. HD, I actually really like HD. Here, the range, it's playing this nice range. If it does come down, I really want it at the 259 range, but we'll see. I mean, it is holding the 262 range, but I don't play this often, so I'd want it down here at the 259 range. Square is another big one. I want to try to get a position in this one again. I've been in and out of this stock a lot this year. I had it back down at 135, and then I sold. I don't remember when I sold, but still made some decent profit off it. Nonetheless, this one I am waiting for it to try to get to that 203. I mean, if I can really get it down to this 203 mark again, I definitely go heavy if it gets to this point. Shares leaps, I don't know. Square leaps aren't the greatest, in my opinion. The premium burn is pretty good, so I'll probably get more likely in shares in this one. And then hold. I think this one is going to be a good one. With all the new changes that are coming, I think Square will definitely, this will be Square's year, I think. Not that it wasn't last year, because it had some tremendous growth last year too, but I think it'll continue its massive growth this year. Lemonade, it keeps getting rejected up here, so it looks like a big bear flag now. So I don't know. Lemonade is still. I mean, I'd like Lemonade because, like I said, I was originally in Lemonade before. I think I got in at 45. I sold obviously way too early, just because there was a lot of the information I was getting. I didn't like it. It's too. I don't even recall exactly what it was, but nonetheless, I'm not too sold on it. I want this to come down. I think right now it's been pumped. I know a lot of YouTubers been pumping this one, so I've been kind of just waiting for it to die off a little bit more. Nvidia is playing range, 510 mark entry if you're going to take Nvidia. Costs it's exploding, pushing back up. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to back this out so I can see this a little bit better. I gotta love TOS charts here. What am I on? Oh, the 20, that's why. Like, why can't I see anything? There we go. cost. Yeah, I think we might just retest the 388. I don't know if we're going to break out. Twilio, I think, is too high. Some of these are too high. I think a lot of the leaders can continue to run for a bit. I am expecting some kind of pullback here coming in the new year. I said I don't know if that's going to be in a couple days, a couple of weeks, but I think it's getting there. CRM, it barely missed my zone. So again, I'm waiting for that to come down here before I even pick that up again. I think Salesforce could have a pretty decent year too this year. It's been it's been building up quite a bit. So if it does dip down to that, even again comes close. It did come down to 228. A lot of times it can come close like this and then reverse. And normally that's when you get the big breakouts. So I'm watching this. So I've actually put a marker up here on alert if that does get up that high. Amazon, everybody's favorite. What are we doing here? We got to love TOS. I don't know what she's doing. I need to actually clean this chart up a little bit, but Amazon is Amazon. I'll wait for it when it comes down here into 31.68. It looks like it wants to sell again, to be honest. I mean, it could be a higher high depending on how we open, but snow is just going to continue to sell off. I'll catch that one at 225. Pins, I've talked about pins a lot. I've done some research over the weekend. Pins, I'm not really sure. I know Etsy, a lot of people prefer Etsy over pins because I guess a lot of the backlinks go back to Etsy as opposed to pins. So I don't know. I think everybody's just trying to buy the hype and thinking it might be the next shop. To be honest, I'd rather just take shop, but we'll see. I'm not really playing the e-commerce space right at the moment. A lot of the rest of these, I think, are just kind of everything's pulling back. Again, I think we're going to see. This one's actually quite intrigued me. I realized that the vaccine and everything really made a lot of this. I know ARK Invest has been buying in this position. It is really high though. It's already at 338. I don't know. I don't know what to think of Zoom. I'm just going to kind of play it out this week. If I do want to keep it on watch, but it's not. I don't really love it. I'm not really loving ZM, but we'll see how that goes. NIO, I think NIO's got. I think they're supposed to have a big event or something this. I think it's this week. NIO, looks like it broke out of the range. Or didn't actually break out of the range yet. It looks like it's ready to pop, to be honest. I'll have to see how that opens up. I don't play NIO that much. Again, I should have took it at $1.50 when it was $1.50 a couple months ago, but I never did. Disney is just crushing it this year. Even though all the parks are closed, I mean, their streaming service and everything is just taking off. Everybody's loving the new shows and stuff coming out this year. So it might be a huge year for Disney this year, to be honest, with their streaming service. So that's something I'm probably actually going to move up here. Definitely keep that on watch. If we get any good pullbacks on Disney, it might be worth getting in. Qualcomm's been pushing up. SC, Netflix. I don't play Netflix that much. It is the winter months. I mean, I don't follow Netflix that much, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Same with Roku. Roku had a heck of a push. I remember I kept buying shares on this at 100, and then out to see if I would have just held a couple more months. That's why patience is definitely key, because I was looking at it over here. I remember when it was down here at this 100 mark. I remember seeing it holding here. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I still made out, so can't really complain. BA, oh, I hate you, BA. Yeah, BA is just BA. I don't really play BA. Just been selling us, slowly bleeding out. Carnival could have I don't really think Carnival is going to have a big year. Disney might even get a play off the theme parks this year too. So Disney could be a huge runner this year, actually, with the streaming service, all the shows coming out. That might even be why it's running now. That might be starting to get priced in. CCL, it's debatable. We're still putting a bunch of people on a ship. I'd rather go with casinos. I'd take casinos over the cruise lines or airlines, to be honest, because I don't think a lot of people are going to take the airlines either. I think a lot of people are just going to drive, at least for the beginning of the summer. I think that's what's going to happen there. Space is actually holding. I want space down further, though. Palantir is another one I want to look at this year, too. If Palanters can hit under that 22.18, I'm definitely going to try to get into Palantir. I like Palantir. Riot is too high up there. MP, I know this one's, a lot of people have been buying this because of the batteries. I'm not buying. Let's see, what was the one I was just looking at? That's what I wanted to go over here. Workhorse, selling off. I need to get lower. Win. I want to look at Win. Win's high. If Win ever gets around that 100, about that 102 mark, if it ever hits the zone, I always buy. Because before the whole March thing, I can't even see what's going on here. Thanks to StreamYard. Whenever it hits this 102 mark, it always bounces. This is such a strong support, and this is why I did trade Win a lot before March, and I love the stock. I mean, it hit that 10. It was like you could count it pretty much every time it hit off that 102 mark. So whenever it gets in the zone, I typically always buy it. Not saying it could go to zero, because it could always still go to zero, but if it does dip down in here, leaps and shares out of here, and I think Win's gonna be another one. Like I said, the casinos. If out of all the casinos, I like Win the best. It's got, I think, the best movement. This is one I kind of oversaw. I'm debating on this one. Again, this is another penny, so you have to understand that there's a lot of risk going into this one. But this is one for baby food. Essentially, they sell I think it's plant-based and organic baby food and stuff like that. So this might be one that might be interesting this year. I'm kind of watch it. I don't know a lot about this company. I know the basics of what's going on. Come on, TOS. I know the basics of this company. But this could be a good one. I think this year will be good for the meatless products, ramp up and stuff after everything that's gone on. Again, I'm watching, this is the other one, the 3D printing organs. It's at 2850. This is going to have to come way down. Again, there's like no volume in this thing, so you're definitely going to have to understand that if you take a position on this, you may be holding this for a couple of years, so just be aware of that. Where's the other 3D printing one I have on here? Prolabs. This one's coming down. I want to keep an eye on this one because this one likes to go on some pretty nice tears, and I think 3D printing could be big. And like I said, the reason I like this one is because they have a lot of patents. Being said, I think if it starts getting down to that 136 mark, I mean, ultimately I want it lower than that, but if it can get down below that 136 mark, I'll start looking at it. That would be one to take a leap for this year. And I think on this one too, I'm watching this one. I like to take this one on and off. It has some nice spikes. Again, there's a lot of volume in this one. That's something to keep in mind. But AVGR, again, this is the where they clean out your arteries with a camera. They're the first to actually have a camera at the end of the tube that it cleans out your arteries. So I don't know if it originally got FDA approval. I never actually looked back on that, but that could explain this huge pop that it got. So if it ever comes down to that 331 mark, I'll be watching that again. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have, like I said, I really want to see how the market opens tomorrow before I start really going too deep with any of these. I'm kind of just giving a brief overview. I think a lot of the same beta stocks, I think are the ones I'm looking at. Like I said, I think Tesla, Airbnb will have a big year this year. TDoc, I think will have a big year this year. And then the rest, meatless products, I think will have a pretty decent year. Planet 13, again, I think will have a big year for recovery and everything. So that's what I got, guys. So remember to drop the like button before you go out the door. And until next time, I will see you guys later.